Y'all survived the snowstorm.
The other day when I drove down.
Really? Freaked out. I told him you lived there.
All the people built their You would. All the people built the houses.
I thought everyone was going to get one, but I'll make sure they did.
I had to deal with so much choice.
We're not doing anything.
I know. Yes, I did go to.
Trying to watch it on. Now the issue is those.
Right.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all? Good to see you on a happy Thursday evening. It's now 6 p.m. I'd like to call the Warsaw Town Council to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Seat, everyone. Okay, Council, first order of business, we have the approval of the consent agenda. I trust you've all looked at that. If there's anyone that has any edits to offer, I'll open that up and ask at that time. If no edits, I will ask for a motion for approval.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor, to approve.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, we know what we're talking about tonight. We're going to go into our public comment time. I have a list here of people who would like to speak. Just a reminder that the public comment time is a time for the public to speak to the council. Council will not be interacting back to the public, answering any types of questions back and forth, and we are limited to 3 minutes. As I recognize your name, please step up to the podium, identify your name and your address, and we'll have a conversation. First person I see that would like to speak is Miss Belinda Reynolds. Good evening.
I live at 6196 Richmond Road, Warsaw, Virginia, and I am here to speak about the Packard property. Not against rooftops, we need them. It's the business I'm in, I know we need them, but not at a cost to our town citizens. I worry about schools, I worry about traffic, I worry about LEO, I worry about EMS, and I worry about fire. I also worry about the fact that we let one person monopolize all the building in our town. Because if he builds out, there's no more room for anybody else to come in and build, unless we turn around and annex. So if we keep annexing, how does that affect our citizens? Also, everything he does or will do, we just had 2 water increases in the town in 2024, which were needed. I'm not saying they weren't. It should have been done over the years. But are we going to do the same thing to our citizens again? Keep increasing their taxes and water? If we don't know what the impact or what the future of infrastructure is going to cost us, he, as a builder, he should be responsible for the infrastructure. If you don't know what it is, how can you let him build something and we not know what it's going to cost our town? I know, Randy, you're not a favor of it. Mr. Yakel is. But we need to know what it's going to cost us. It's not fair to our citizens, and it's your job as council to protect your citizens of the town and make sure that we are not taxed to death. Because definitely, y'all have done great things the last 5 or 6 years in Warsaw. Not knocking it. I've been a citizen all my life. We do need rooftops. But it shouldn't cost our citizens that live here everything he does. We already now are we just had to do a loan for a well. All those things cost. I know our taxes are probably going to go up eventually for that. Every time you give away free water and sewer hookups, that costs us. He's going to pass that bill, that buck right down to the homeowners. I got a phone call last week. Hey, do you know Greg Packett? I was like, I know Gregory Packett. They go, well, I hear he's already going to sell that property. I was like, I don't know, maybe he is. I said, but I just worry about the impact of what it's going to do to our town. So y'all can please consider that he do an impact study, not to stop the project, just to see what the figures are going to be for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I have Mr. Clifford Mullins.
Evening, Council. J. Clifford Mullen, 8351 Historyland Highway, Warsaw, Virginia. Two things, unfortunately, and I know y'all didn't suffer because of it. The January meeting, I wasn't here. It was because I was sick. And one of the main things that I wanted to come and tell y'all about was, what are you laughing at? Was the Christmas, what was it, y'all?
Christmas
called it?
town.
Christmas Day? Christmas
town.
Day and parade. I heard y'all hemming and hawing and woeing and wailing at the December meeting about concerns about how this was going to go and whether this nighttime parade was going to be a success and all that sort of stuff. And I got up there and I had the evening of my life, and I was sorry that I went as late as I did because I didn't get to see as much as y'all had out there. And all I wanted to make sure that y'all knew was that I heard and talked to more people and had more people say stuff to me about how good an evening that was as far as the vendors and all the things you had in the streets. But the parade, I don't know how Wood Preservers functions with all the equipment that they had down there. And with the snow that we've had in the last few days, I saw the canaries that were painted on one of the snow trucks. I saw that plowing down past my house the other day. I thought they were gonna set them off to the side for the next parade. But I have to tell y'all that that was some good work that you did, and she's not here tonight, but correct me if I'm wrong, but Ellen?
Yeah.
That she did a lot of the work in orchestrating and getting that together. And I wanna make sure that y'all give her a good kudos on it. And for whatever it worked, you can tell her Cliff said so.
I will.
All right, so now,
You got a minute left, Cliff.
Oh.
Talk quick.
all right. Well, can I sit down and come back on a second time? I'll be real quick. All right, on the packet project, I'll be straight out with you. I'm supporting the project, and I'm supporting the motion that was sent or is being sent to y'all this evening from the Planning Commission with the caveats that are on it concerning the studies to be done with it. The biggest thing that I did not hear said the evening of the Planning Commission that I think that needs to be brought out and said was that at one of the earlier meetings, that this project was a 5 to 10 year, workout. And so with a time frame of that and with studies being done and having an opportunity to see what impacts this could have, if we've got 5 or 10 years that this is going to be implemented, it's not going to be something that all of a sudden, 1st of June, all of a sudden the whole town is going to be blocked up, our fire departments are going to be jammed, the water is going to run out, and the sewers are going to be running over. We'll have time to work on it, to think about it, especially if we do, as suggested, have studies done to prepare us for it. But I encourage the council in every way they can to try to continue with the growth of our town and our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, in reviewing the list, I don't see anyone else that said they would like to speak, but is there anyone here that would like to speak who did not sign up? Okay. Then I'm going to cause the public comment section closed, and we are going to move in right to the reports. And as usual, as the mayor gets the privilege, I'm going to move on through the meeting and put my comments where I think they need to be. So, Mr. Quessenberry, I think you're up next.
All right. Good evening, everyone. First things first, happy birthday to our mayor. So just wanted to shout that out.
Thank you.
And
We need to wrap this up in 10 minutes.
okay, you know what? That's fine. Here we go. Item number 1, budget preparation. I'm pleased to report that I'll be submitting a balanced budget for your review and deliberation in the coming weeks. You actually do have the first initial draft, I think, in front of you. Thought I'd give you a little bit of time to review that. This has been one of the most difficult budget seasons during my tenure, as revenues are beginning to level off after years of growth. Major expenses and infrastructure on the horizon, and inflation has sometimes doubled the cost of some of our necessary public works materials. I am pleased to report that there are no increases in local taxes being proposed this year. Increases in fees for water and sewer services are being proposed as part of the annual cost of business alignments. I look forward to working with you next month as we review our annual budget together with the combined hopes of remaining as efficient and streamlined as possible. Number 2, weather events and water line breaks. I once again thank and applaud our town police and public works crews for maintaining the safety and day-to-day functions of the town, even with the difficult weather conditions this week. I want to say thank you also to Northern Electric, Dominion Energy, Richmond County EMS, Volunteer Fire Department, and Sheriff's Office for their work during this time. At the end of last month, the beginning of February, the Public Works Department, which our director will expand upon a little bit, had to deal with a lot of water line breaks and also with the wastewater treatment issues we've been having, and I just want to thank them so much for everything that they do. Paving schedule has been announced. According to VDOT, the current paving schedule is, I'm not going to go through all these because it's pretty much almost every street in town. Cape Sill is Court Circle, College Avenue, and Campus Drive. They told me Cape Sill is just akin to the fresh black asphalt that you see on 360. Surface treatment, unfortunately, is the more gravel type stuff, but that will be on pretty much every street in town coming up in 2025.
We have that on Harris Avenue.
Yep, so just be mindful of that. The issue we're working with now is the crosswalks that we put in. If they are paved over, the town has to put them back in at our cost. And so I'm trying to work out, I think VDOT said that they would leave those alone, which is good because they're $10,000 each. And so I'm glad that they're going to leave those and not pave over them. Economic development, we continue to work on creating a site-ready area for a new hotel to locate in town. Comparing local tax dollars and amenities, Warsaw struggles when in comparison to Tappahannock, Colony Beach, and Kilmarnock for overnight accommodations and transient occupancy tax revenues. In a small example, Tappahannock collects $359,000 annually in transient occupancy tax compared to Warsaw's collection of $40,000. Outside of potential revenues, the lack of overnight accommodations can handle conferences and other events negatively impacts our community. Town staff are currently working on negotiations to acquire land within the downtown area, either through donation or a fair market purchase price, and present it to you all for a decision. Once acquired, an incentive package of state and local incentives will be offered, and an RFP will be issued for a developer to submit a proposal for a hotel. We will continue to update you as this progresses. We're continuing to work with several developers regarding housing projects across town, and we'll keep you informed as those move through the process, and we're also working on various smaller projects throughout town. Mural project, we're working to finalize paperwork for the Route 360 side of Northern Neck News for a large-scale mural that would actually encompass the entire wall, ensuring it's a focal point for the town. We have a muralist this year from the Roanoke area that's done an exceptional job across the Commonwealth that will be working with us this year. He's visiting Warsaw next week, and he's going to sort of show him around town and some of the highlights and give him some inspiration for the mural. And again, you all will get to approve the final rendition of that, and we'll be getting a contract signed with the Northern Neck News Lakeway Publishers to put that on there. Administrative assessment. Over the last few months, Berkeley Group, a regional consulting firm, conducted interviews with our office staff, reviewed processes and procedures, and toured our town office to create an analysis and report for our review. With having grown from 1,500 residents to 2,330 in 8 years, and with having 2 new admin staff within the last 4 years and a newly created assistant town manager position, we wanted to ensure our operations are running as smoothly and efficiently as possible, following best practices and providing the best in customer service. And I would like to schedule a meeting, and I'll get with the personnel committee later on to go over that. Item 7, professional development initiatives. Professional development ensures that we have the best trained and knowledgeable staff that we possibly can, particularly for a rural area, and I'm proud to have the following members of our staff working on professional development endeavors. Right now, we have Julia Blackley-Rice in the Certified Municipal Clerk Program. We have Missy Coates in the Certified Zoning Official Program. We have Warner Pearson going through the Certified Water Operator Program. Tanner France, a Class 4 wastewater operator, and I'll be working to finish out my MPA. And I just want to congratulate all of our staff for that, and really do appreciate everybody's time doing that. Only 2 more left. Mandatory FOIA training, again, Wednesday, February 26th at 1 p.m. for town council members to come in and get their FOIA training. And I think Julia's been handling that, so just be on the lookout for some more emails. Last item, basketball court. With requests from residents and at the direction of Councilmember English, we've been looking into various options for basketball courts for some time now. We're currently working on a partnership with Rappahannock Community College to redo the existing basketball court there, and I've reached out to Richmond County for their assistance. I haven't heard a response yet, but I'm hopeful that the town and RCC can work together like we previously did for the tennis courts to revamp this area. New goals will be installed, new asphalt will be placed with striping, and a police call box will be installed between the tennis courts and basketball courts so that both areas can be served. And I hope to bring this action item to you within the coming months. That's all I have for my report.
Well, thank you for that very quick and very streamlined report, Mr. Questenberry.
You're welcome.
Council, any questions on any of items 1 through 8, 7, whatever they were?
20.
No? Okay.
Thank you.
Our police report. Chief.
Sir, I'll make it brief as well. Joseph instructed I was supposed to sing happy birthday, but I think we'll pass on that. Nobody wants to hear me sing. You have a copy of our activity report for the month of January. Just 2 things to share. We survived Snowmageddon 2, Monday, Tuesday. No real issues. There's a few crashes out in the county. Otherwise, for the time of day that the snow hit, and it hit pretty fast, we managed, and there was no real issues. We're happy to say that. Second, for a small town police department, we're always proud when we can share positive things, as small as it may seem. To some, it's big to us. Our agency was awarded the FBI LEDA Agency Trilogy Award. I put a press release in your packets that kind of breaks it down exactly what that is. But for a small department of our size, achieving this award is a remarkable accomplishment that the town of Warsaw should be proud to take pride in. Showcases our agency as a forward-thinking, well-trained, professionally led organization ensuring our community receives the highest standard of law enforcement services.
Outstanding.
And it's not just a little thing, I mean, it's pretty fancy. We put it together, and this will be displayed in our office.
Outstanding.
I'm proud of that.
Congratulations.
And the team takes pride in it too, so. Pending your questions, that is my brief report.
Any questions for the good chief?
I don't know about good.
All
No
right.
question, but I did get several people that were very thankful. I'm not sure which officer it was that was posting the pictures while he was out on patrol.
Yes.
During Snowmageddon. Got a lot of positive
That's
feedback.
me. You're welcome. Yes, that was good, thank you.
So I think we have Snowmageddon 3 coming next week. Is that what I'm
Wednesday.
hearing?
Wednesday.
After it gets 60 degrees, then 70, then.
All right. Director of Public Works, Jesse, you're in the house.
Good evening.
Evening.
We will start with the wastewater treatment plant. Monthly numbers, average daily influent flow for January was 171,600, an increase of 3,900 from December. Maximum influent for January was 215,600, a decrease of 13,900. 2024 nutrient annual results. Our total nitrogen for the calendar year of 24 was 1,483 pounds, which is 40% of our permit. Total phosphorus for 24 was 85.50, which is 35% of our permit. So all good there. Treatment plant met all requirements to our Virginia pollutant discharge elimination system for year 24. So that was as good as well. We are undergoing some issues with our sand filters. We are working on getting quotes, and hopefully we can remedy that as soon as possible. Water department, another water loss report for the month of January was a little bit more tricky, but we are at 2% water loss. We also removed all pole-mounted Christmas decor. We experienced 4 water main breaks in January, 2 on Main, 2 on Hamilton, all within a few days. Everybody really kind of worked together and got each one fixed. Refuse department, for the month of December, we made 15 trips totaling 137.14 tons of trash. We are having a bit of a problem with our new old blue trash truck. We keep breaking a pin on the trash body. It's 3 3 now, so we have to take it back to Howell and Chesapeake and see if they can figure out what's going on. Lastly, Public Works Maintenance. They assisted with Monday and Thursday residential trash pickup. They also removed all ground-mounted Christmas decorations along with the acorn light wreaths and garland. And they have also been helping the treatment plant and water department with various tasks. And that's all I have, if you have any questions.
Council, we're going to take up discussion on the sand filter issue down in new business. But other than that, is there any questions for our Director of Public Works?
I just have a comment. Just when the water mains broke and I rode out just to see, how bad it was out there and just, my hat's off to these guys out in that terrible cold weather late at night. And they were all out there working as a team. It was something to be proud of, Jesse.
We appreciate it. It was kind of weird this go around because all 4 breaks were probably within 150 yards from each other. Very, very strange, but worked out.
When repairing them, did anything stand out different?
No, just a clean break, just like you went in there and cut it with a saw.
Huh. All right.
Cleaned it up, put a band on it, and carry on.
Keep the people happy. We appreciate them.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, I don't believe any other council committees had met. Personnel Recon Development. Okay. Planning Commission, I know that we did meet, rather they met. Daphne, I know you've got a recommendation for the subdivision we're going to be discussing. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Was there anything else on the committee report? All right, we'll come back to that then. Thank you. Northern Neck Regional Jail, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Yeah, you've got breakdown of housing in your packet there. I think that's as of yesterday, I think. We had a fairly short meeting yesterday. There's no old business, under new business. We had a couple of things. One, the superintendent went over the 2025 goals of the jail for this year. They set goals each year. I think I mentioned them last month about what they reached for the 2024 goals, and they went over that with us. And then the last one is tentatively the governing bodies dinner is tentatively scheduled for April 16th. Now, that may change, but that's what they have it for, April 16th. This year it is in Richmond County. Okay, so don't have far to go, and I'll be getting with y'all. But a date is in stone. But everybody, those new to us, you'll be getting invitations to the thing. It's a dinner given annually to give a report on the jail and stuff, which sounds boring, but that's a very small part of it. It's a nice dinner and such. And all the governing bodies of 4 counties in the town of Warsaw are invited to it, along with the staff and of the jail and stuff. So, be looking forward to that. Please mark that on the calendar.
Okay. Council, any questions for our Vice Mayor? Okay. Thanks, sir. Okay, moving to old business. The first point we have to bring up is the Rhodes Place and Broadus Creek Development, Phase 1 approval. I know that the Planning Commission had a very good, robust meeting last week. And Daphne, would you like to give us an update on what y'all talked about?
Sure. We did meet. A motion was made to approve Phase 1 of the Rhodes Place and Broadus Creek development as presented, with the condition that an impact study be required as part of the Phase 2 plan submittals, specifically focusing on the financial impacts to the following: water and wastewater infrastructure, public transportation and safety, and public schools and recreational facilities.
Okay. Daphne?
One more time?
I'm sorry.
Could you say that one more time? Just the
Can you just
water,
repeat that?
wastewater, I apologize.
The whole thing or just the?
No, just the study
The
part.
study part, water and wastewater infrastructure, public transportation and safety, and public schools and recreational facilities.
Okay. I wonder, what was the vote? Was it a 3-2 vote? Was it a unanimous vote? Was there any nays? Unanimous vote. Okay. Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
All right, council, we've been talking about the project for quite a while. We've had a couple, well, several discussions in our regular sessions. We had a work session jointly with the Planning Commission and talked about the different topics going back and forth. Mr. Packett's been very cooperative in coming and addressing questions directly and promptly. Thank you for that. And Planning Commission has met, and they have given us a recommendation to approve Phase 1 as presented with the caveats of an impact study with the different aspects that Daphne mentioned. So that's their recommendation. So where we are tonight, we have to either move to approve the Phase 1 development plans, and if we do that, there's a series of things that we'll have to vote for tonight, and we'll handle that one piece at a time. We simply vote no, we don't want to do it, or we table it and take no action. I think that measuring the will of council that we want to move to entertain a vote of approval. I don't want to be that arrogant, so I'll say, is there any other discussion or any other comments any council member wants to bring up? Okay. Part of the process that we're going to have to do to move forward is that we had a public hearing, talked about an ordinance adoption, and we talked about how the development would be laid out. So the first order of business is we have to approve the ordinance that's been drafted by our attorney, and I'll read that in short order. Once I read that, we'll need a motion to approve that, and then we'll go on to the next step. That fair? Is that where we want to go? Well, I just love reading ordinances. And I'm getting over a cold, not contagious, so bear with me. In ordinance to amend the zoning map and rezone approximately 63.16 acres of real property within the town of Warsaw, Virginia, and more particularly identified as tax map NOS.16A4A48, 16A4A59, 16A4A77, 16A4A79, 16A4610, and 16A4A80 from their current zoning classifications of C1, C2, R1, and R12 to R12, residential office, and to accept voluntary proffers. A lawyer would make me read this. Whereas pursuant to Virginia Code 15.2-22867 and 3-9-2 of the Town of Warsaw Development Management Ordinance, the owner of real property in the town of Warsaw, Virginia, the town consisting of 63.16 acres more or less located within the town between Wallace Street, Route 360 and Route 3, and identified as tax map NOS 16A4A48, 16A4A59, 16A4A77, 16A4A79, 16A4610, and 16A4A80, collectively known as the property, has petitioned the town council of the town of Warsaw, Virginia, the council, to rezone the property to R12, residential/office, from the current zoning districts consisting of C1, limited commercial, C2, general commercial, R1, limited residential, and R12, subject to certain voluntary proffers as described more fully in the owner's land use amendment application and statement of proffers for Rhodes Place and Broadest Creek development, dated as December 3, 2024, updated February 10, 2025, the rezoning. And whereas the property is designed a combination of neighborhood residential and neighborhood mixed use by town 2023 comprehensive plan as amended, and whereas of February 6, 2025, after duly advertising and holding a joint public hearing on December 9, 2024 with town council, the town planning commission recommended that the council approve the rezoning as requested, subject to certain voluntary proffers, and whereas after a duly advertised public hearing held jointly with the Planning Commission on December 9, 2024, the council deferred action on the rezoning until its regular meeting scheduled on February 13, 2025, and whereas the council finds the rezoning to be in the best interest of the citizens of the town, and required by the public necessity, convenience, general welfare, and good zoning practice. Now therefore be it ordained and enacted by the Town Council of the Town of Warsaw, Virginia, that approximately 63.16 acres of real property located within the town between Wallace Street, Route 360, Route 3, and identified as tax map NOS 16A 4A 48, 16A 4A 59, 16A 4A 77, 16A 4A 79, 16A 4, 16A 4610, 16A 4A 80 is hereby rezoned from the current zoning districts consisting of C1 limited commercial, C2 general commercial, R1 limited residential, and R12 to R12 residential/office, subject to the attached statement and proffers dated as of December 3rd, 2024, and updated February 10, 2025. And be it further ordained that the council approval and adoption of any proffered condition does not relieve the applicant and/or any subject owner of the duty to comply with all applicable provisions of any ordinance, regulation, or adopted standard. And be it further ordained that this ordinance shall become effective as of the date of its adoption this 13th day of February 2025. Attachment statements of